We make a lot of decisions as healthcare marketers. And most of us would like to think we make those decisions rationally based on data. But a lot of times the decisions have to be quick, and so they're based more on gut feeling and tradition. Well, when I saw that there was a session here at HMPS 24 on performance-based marketing decision-making, I was intrigued, and I just had to get those presenters on camera with me to talk about it. Hello and welcome to Swaay.Health, where we bring you the latest insights and interesting stories from the brightest minds in healthcare marketing. I'm Colin Hung, and I'm here in Las Vegas, Nevada at HMPS 24, and I'm about to sit down with Camelot Eves, as well as Joshua Turizzi, both of whom are corporate directors of enterprise growth at UPenn, or Penn Medicine. I'm also going to be joined by Steve Kesson, who's the CEO of Fathom. And together, they're going to talk about their presentation and, more importantly, the impact that performance-based marketing and performance-based decision-making has had on their organizations. Let's get to it. Josh, Steve, Cam, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having us.
I'm excited. You guys had a presentation here at HMPS here in Las Vegas. Tell us and give our audience a little snippet, a little highlight of the presentation that you guys gave today.
Yeah, I would be happy to. Yeah, so today we talked about how Fathom, a digital marketing firm, partnered with Penn Medicine to completely transform the way that we go about campaign strategy and campaign planning that drove absolutely incredible results through precision. And so it was a performance-first strategy, an audience-centric strategy, instead of how things have been done over many years in healthcare. And a lot of credit goes to our partners at Penn Medicine for really advancing the way that they think and work as it relates to performance marketing.
So when that word, performance marketing, what does that mean to you folks here at UPenn? What does that really entail? It sounds like it's very data-driven. Is that correct?
Yeah, something interesting that we talked about today was traditional advertising, goes out into the, into the market and hopefully finds the people that it needs to reach. But data-driven, performance-driven marketing is more about finding the target where they are, and then ultimately meeting that demand. So with paid search and things like that, really making sure that we are capturing the demand of our prospects and thinking about where to find them, to bring them further down the funnel to us.
However, we've gotten a lot more systematic and methodical about how we put the pieces together so that we can be more targeted across the whole portfolio and evaluate progress, and then use those learnings to optimize the next round of work. So
I like that. Can you walk me through that, Cam? Like, what is your process now as you get ready for a campaign using this new methodology?
We have a couple main components. One is we have business goals that we collaborate with our clinical and business partners. Then we use that to figure out what kind of investment strategy we need to help meet those goals. And then we kind of have a decision tree to decide where to put the money digitally, organic or paid search. And then we run that into a model we have that has a lot of historical data on how many, like, for example, leads do we need to capture, convert to new patient visits, which is our key metric, to achieve our business goals. And then we kind of base our strategy on that and give our target metrics to partners like Fathom.
And what have been some of you mentioned off the top some really incredible results.
Yeah.
What have those results been for you now that you've adopted this new methodology?
Yeah, so we look at preference scores for our brand and specifically for cancer services, as well as leads that we're seeing through paid search and through digital, through clicks. And then most importantly, new patient visit conversions. And so ultimately, over the course of the last year, with a more reduced budget, we've been able to increase our preference for cancer. Specifically, I think it was 37%. And then we set a goal, to Cam's point before, using the model, we set a goal of 5% growth in terms of new patient visits that were coming from marketing. But we're actually tracking towards an 18% year-over-year growth relative to cancer. So the work we're doing is working, and we're seeing some good success.
I want to key in on something you just said there that I found fascinating. You're able to attribute directly marketing's contribution. You've cracked the attribution nut,
Right.
which is so difficult. Is that because you're now able to apply, like you're more targeted, you know who you're going after, and so therefore you're able to track it? Like,
it's more a testament to our data and analytics stack and our team that is able to attribute sort of from prospect all the way through to encounter. And we look at that on a regular basis in order to really justify and quantify our marketing results.
And I would say this is where I think Penn Medicine stands above many of the other health systems in the market with an incredible team and a great data infrastructure. And us as their digital partners have been able to collaborate with them and benefit from that structure, that feedback loop, as well as give them some of our data to help close the loop even more. And so that's just helped us be more precise. And that's what's driven the outcomes and the results that we were able to share in our session today. And one of the things I highlighted in the presentation is just the amount of change that's happening in the environment for the healthcare marketer. And one of the things I said is, hey, how many of you had more budget this year than you had last year by a show of hands? And there were maybe 3 out of 50 people or 60 people in the room. And the data shows that about 22% have an increased budget. So they weren't in the room today. But the reality of it is like we're being tasked to do more with less. And, Josh shared a great quote, which I'll let him share here, about like, hey, when you're faced with a challenge, how do you respond to it? And I credit really Cam and Josh and their teams to responding to the environment they need to operate in, and drive great success with that.
Oh, so in the CFO CMO discussion, somebody was speaking about relative to marketing budgets that flat is the new up. And I think we can kind of all relate to that in a way that, with all the change that's been going on in the industry.
I love that. Flat is the new up. So what advice would you all give to someone who's maybe wanting to do what you did and achieve some of the results that you achieved? What advice would you give them on how to get started and how to do this in their organizations?
I would say marketers need to be savvy about the analytics and the data and not be traditional marketers. Really have to have a good understanding of what the opportunity is you're going after, how you want to capture it, how you're going to measure it, how you're going to line up the resources. So it needs to be more like a business manager mindset rather than like let's run a couple campaigns and see kind of what we get.
Yeah, I mean, I think, one of the things we talk about is that a good strategy is about sacrifice. And so it's about, to Cam's point, like really looking at the business and understanding where you can have the most impact, and looking at, the financials of it and driving patients that are going to really drive business to the bottom line.
Yeah, my advice would be to embrace the change, right? The world is changing around us. You can either hop on board or you can have the world pass you by. And it can be a little scary, but find good partners, find in your organization and outside to test and pilot. And I couldn't agree more. You need to have a strong business case, and you need to be able to measure what you're doing. But the proof is going to be in the results, and that will drive the change.
You guys have all shared some fantastic information. Where can people go to learn more about UPenn?
People can go to pennmedicine.org.
Steve, where can people go to find out more about Fathom?
Yeah, fathomdelivers.com. And we're often at events just like this.
Awesome. Well, thank you to all of you for your time and sharing your insights. It's been wonderful to have you on the program.
All right, thanks for having us.
Thank you very much.
Hey, I want to thank Cam, Josh, and Steve for coming on camera with me and sharing all those great details about their performance-based marketing campaigns. I really found the benefits that they received and how they were going about making data-based decisions super fascinating. And hey, if you enjoyed this interview as much as I did, please like and subscribe. Also, head on over to Swaay.Health, that's Swaay with 2 A's, .health, where you can find more great content like this. I'm Colin Hung. Thanks for being here, and I'll catch you on the next episode.